Buddha, 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 Buddha. You don't have the Skype signed in. The Skype isn't signed in. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Why is that doing that? Okay. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Buddha, Buddha. Buddha, 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 Buddha. He's my boo. Who's my boo? Who is my boo bear? Who? Who's my boo bear? Who's my beautiful baby? What? Who? You are. You're my beautiful baby. I love my beautiful baby. I love my beautiful baby. I do. Alright. 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 I gotta get a bottle of water. Alright, let's start again, shall we? Let's see. Let's see, what do we have here now? We have the lovely river. We have the lovely protesters. We have the lovely space station. And we have the lovely weekend drone video by Craig, the producer of the show. And it is lovely video. This is Stump Lake, where we went over the weekend. We went there, me and the Boo Bear and the Girl and Sam and Craig, and we had a good time. It was a beautiful day, as you can see. And there was many stumps to be had in the lake. They're everywhere. Look at them. They're everywhere. And there was lots of people there having a good time. The dog... we could not get the dog out of the lake. Huh. Okay, we could not get the dog out of the lake. We could not get Rufus out of the lake. Girl does what she wants. Girl does what she's told. She's a good girl. We could not get Boo Bear out of the lake, right? He was like, just just balls deep in the lake, just like walking along the lake. Come on, buddy, let's go. He's just like, I'm gonna go this way. He's just walking in the lake, and finally get him out of the lake, and he rolls all in the dirt, because that's what you do when you get out of the lake. You roll in the dirt, man. So he rolls all in the dirt. We got over back by the car, and then take him and put him in this water. Get him back in the water. Try and get some of the dirt off of him. See that creek right there? I'm pretty sure that's the creek we got him in, to try and get some of the dirt off of him. And then it got the dirt off him, got him nice and all cleaned off by the dirt. You know, that little creek right there is pretty deep in a couple spots. So we took him up to the truck, start towel him off, get him all dried off, right? Get him dried off. And then he's dried off, he's not going to want to roll, right? So get him dried off. I'm like, okay, you can come down, because he's adventure boy and wants to see what's going on. So we went up this way, and there's people camping all over, and he just like wants to say hi to everybody, you know. So he's like, and there's no leash, so he's like, hey, what's your name? And we and we wandered around for a minute, and then we went back to the truck, and the girl was still in the truck. I was like, you want to come out of the truck? She comes out of the truck, and we go out, and I go wander with her for a minute. And I said, come on, Boo Bear, let's go this way. And he's kind of going everywhere. He already went this way. And he's like, so I want to go over here. And he's being a little bit of a, I'm going to go over this way. Don't tell me what to do. It's my summer afternoon. He's a good boy. And he's my beautiful baby. And he goes, where he's going. I said, all right, let's head back to the truck, because the drone only flies for we went and did that because Craig was flying the drone for the first time today, because it was fairly windy up in the mountains, at least too windy for his little drone. So we went to, we walked around the lake, and we came back, and it looked like it was going to be okay for him to fly. So we had the dogs all dried, so like, okay, go ahead and fly. And we started wandering around for a couple minutes, and we're wandering around. We go back to the truck. And I'm like, where's Rufus? He's down in the lake. Down in the lake. Where else would the dog be? Where else would that Boo Bear be but down in the lake? And you see that little bunny running around there and there? Those are remote control cars. A lot of remote control cars. A lot of remote control cars. Very interesting. And this is, again, drone video by Craig of Stump Lake from this weekend, if anybody's wondering. I thought it's really pretty, He's working on getting the coloration just right. He's pretty happy with the way it looks, though. It looks pretty darn good. He likes the colors, though. But it was really funny, right? When you come down this road, and then there's like a boat ramp at the end of this road, right? But right when you get to the end of it, and then there's like a little drop off that kind of goes down into the lake area. Normally the lake, you can see it would all be filled up with water, right? So it gets this little drop off, and it goes into the lake area. We're like right at the end of the not at the end of the boat ramp, but at the end of the road where the boat ramp down to the lake kind of starts, right? It says, this area closed. I'm like, sign says this area closed. And Sam and Craig are like, what sign? The sign that you just drove past. Big sign, big white sign, red letters, area closed. They're like, well, man, these people give a shit about the sign, so I don't care about the sign either. I could care less. I'm just telling you what it says. You guys are the law-abiding citizens. More or less. Other than the whole pirate thing. Arr. Anyways, I think the video looks very pretty. It was a lovely day. Like I said, it was a really lovely. It was Saturday, and then yesterday we went down to where did we go yesterday? Oh, we went north, and there's like a couple beaches that we stopped at up there, and that was cool. The dogs got a cheeseburger. Oh, on Saturday we went to this restaurant up in the mountains, and it was all outdoor seating, so the dogs got to sit with us, and they fucking love that. They love going to the restaurant, man. It's one of their favorite things. A lot of cars up there look like they're like there to like drive around in the mud and stuff. Ready for the weekend? Let's go get dirty. Let's go get these things stuck in some mud. Anyways, it's a beautiful lake, and you guys totally missed out, and the dogs totally loved it. And I am looking forward to, and there's lakes all over up there. This is the second lake that we stopped at on Saturday. We went to one lake, and it was too windy there. It was too windy to fly. Bunch of eagles. I think it was the eagles. There was like, I saw at least 4 eagles flying around. It looked like they were chasing after. No, they flew. No, oh, Sam flew there for a minute because it looked like the eagles were chasing after his drone. That's right. Dogs swam there. It was a lovely stop. But this one was good. We got to hang out for a couple hours out in nature, walking around, enjoying the good life with lots of other nature lovers. The neighbor's putting up a fence, so if you hear some buzzing noise in the background, I think it's sounds like a dentist drill. Oh man, we went to Costco yesterday to fuel up the car, right? We went to Costco to go fuel up the car, and we're there, and I see this guy like 2 lanes over in the car, and getting his car fueled, and he's got a mask on, right? And he's looking at me like really hard. I'm not wearing a mask. I got the window rolled down, and he's looking at me really fucking hard, and I'm like, motherfucker, you giving me the evil eye because I'm not wearing a motherfucking mask? Who the fuck you think you are? I'm looking back at him like, who the fuck are you? And I realize it's my dentist. And I'm like, oh, hey, Doc. What's up, Doc? Went over, said hi to him. He's all got his mask on. He's all like, a doctor would. I don't know. He's an expecting father, so he's supposed to have a baby next week, he said. Congratulations, Doc. He's a busy, busy guy, I'll tell you what. Let's see, what do we got here? Stump Lake, and we got Eugene, Oregon, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, and what do we got here? Looks like Cottonwood Heights, Utah. You go, babies! And Portland, I don't know what's happening in Portland, we don't even see that. Right, so there we go. Cottonwood looking like the place to be tonight, huh? Is that a Blue Lives Matter rally? That's a Blue Lives Matter flag, I'm pretty sure. I also have a video of Aurora, Colorado cops harassing a black family because their car apparently matched the description of a stolen vehicle. So they pulled a black family out of the car and handcuffed little kids and put them face down on the asphalt while they're crying. I have that video for you. Not very nice. It's not a very nice video. But, I have this lovely drone video of Stump Lake. That's nice video, right? That's some nice video right there, I think. I think so. Maybe we'll keep it on there for a minute. Just for a minute. John Hume dies. Let's see. No Novocaine. You know what? I was in the dentist chair. No Novocaine for me. Speaking of which, I was in the dentist chair, and I was asking him. We talk a lot about movies when I talk to him. He's a big kung fu movie guy. He's actually he used to fight full contact matches, but he stopped because his hands are insured for this amount of millions of dollars, and he was like, the insurance says I have to stop or they're going to drop me off my insurance, in which my hand's insured for millions of dollars. So it's like, okay, whatever works. The guy's like 70 years old. I'm like, dude, you're 70 fucking years old. Stop. Stop making babies. And stop fucking full contact fighting unless you have to. But he's a pretty cool guy. He knows all kinds of kung fu movies, so we talk movies. I was saying, so he's got me in the dentist chair, and I was like, dude, do you know the movie Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier? And he's like, yeah, I know that movie. I'm like it's a great movie. It's a very good movie, very terrifying. I was like, that's what it's like for me every time I come to see you. And I mean, it's a story about a fucking about a Nazi prison camp, concentration camp dentist. So, and he's Muslim, so he probably doesn't care for that analogy very much. But and it's not something good to bring up to your dentist right before he starts working on you. I guarantee. In case any of you don't know what that movie's like, it's terrifying. It's about a Nazi concentration camp dentist who kidnaps a journalist and goes to town on him, straps him to a chair, and starts working on him. Horrifying. Let's see. So, look at that sky. Look at that sky. Look at those trees. Isn't it beautiful? I love this place. I can't tell you how much I love this place. It's just gorgeous. I lost my... Where'd my list of clips go? I usually have a list of clips around here somewhere. I must have left it in the other room. I think I put it down when I went over to see the Boo Bear. Wrestle with the Boo Bear. Let's see, what is happening now? Does anybody know what's going on? I'm a little confused about what's happening. I got a call coming through. Hold on, just a minute. Just a minute. We'll get it. Hold on, just a minute. We're gonna get a call coming through momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. Blah 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 blah. All right, so we are here, and this is live, and there are American flags on the screen in Cottonwood Heights, Utah. Oh, that's a Blue Lives Matter on the other side of the street of a Black Lives Matter rally, apparently, because they can't rally, they can't coexist. Apparently, they can't rally together in peace. Apparently, we have to have. Hello, caller.
Yeah, I have a fear of dentists, Mike, from when I was a little kid.
Yeah, Dennis fucked with me. Dennis fucked with me bad when I was a kid.
They fucked with you, you said?
Yeah.
Well, what'd they do?
I got like 10 fucking fillings in like one day. One time.
Holy fuck. Was that your dad's idea to save money?
No, man, it was a fucking dentist idea because my mom had good insurance and my mom didn't understand. Fucking dentists rape little kids when they find out that their parents can pay for it.
Oh, fuck, yeah. I mean, that's torture, dude. Yeah, I bet he didn't put you out either. He just tortured you for about 3 hours.
Yeah, it's just nightmarish for me, man.
Yeah, me too. I remember I was a little kid. I was 12, maybe 11, and I had a couple cavities, and I was in the dentist chair, and he was like Dr. Suzuki or Kawasaki or something like that. I don't remember what his fucking name was. He was Chinese or Japanese, and he had a real, I'm this horny little 11, 12-year-old kid, and he had this fucking amazing nurse who was getting right close to me with her pussy right on my fucking elbow or something like that. And being the ludicrous, dumb fuck motherfucker I was, I kind of leaned into it,
Yeah.
the fucking Dr. Kawasaki immediately got me in a headlock and fucking just drilled the shit out of my mouth and
holy shit,
traumatized me, and I never went back.
Yeah, I couldn't. He's a great guy. He's like, hey man, how come you haven't come to see me? I'm like, I told you, it's like fucking Nazi concentration camp shit for me, dude.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, and the weird thing is the whole dental industry was completely flawed, putting mercury in people's fucking teeth, and the whole root canal thing apparently has long-term deficiency items. I wouldn't call it a systemic thing, but it's probably not the best thing to do. You've heard of oil pulling, right? I've talked about oil pulling.
You said something about that.
Yeah, that's all I do is brush my teeth, and sometimes I brush it with coconut oil, and it'll heal any fucking gum infection, get rid of your tooth pain, and I think dentistry has improved since I was a kid, but fuck, man. And to some dentists, you're not just a number and a couple $100 bills. You're not even a human. It's their charisma and their bedside manner is really lacking. It's like, I hate my job and I hate being in your mouth, and I'm going to ram this.
Well, have you seen what's that the plant that eats people and it needs a guy to feed him, the nursery guy to feed it?
The great big one with the fat chick that sings.
I don't know about the fat chick who sings. I'm just talking about a plant that needs to be. Actually, Jack Nicholson was in the original one. I can't remember what it is. It's Little Shop of Horrors. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors, and the one with Bill Murray and Steve Martin, where Steve Martin plays the dentist, and Bill Murray's like a masochist he's a masochist or a sadist or whatever.
Yeah, it's been so long I can't even remember the plot.
Steve Martin is a dentist who enjoys hurting people, and Bill Murray plays a guy who enjoys being hurt. So it's pretty fucking funny.
Sounds like a symbiotic relationship. Sounds like us and the U.S. government, actually.
Yeah, there's something about the government, man. We got to do something about. I can't stand. I think this defund the police thing is a distraction. It's like, yeah, we get that done. No, we got to defund the whole goddamn government because all it does is evil. We got to just defund all the evil doing that it does completely. To say no more.
Well,
I'm tired of it being done in my name, in the good name of my country. Other countrymen.
We're like, a bad analogy, but we're like Germany in World War II. We're fighting on 6 different fronts. We're fighting in France and Poland and Russia and North Africa, and it's like, the war, we're fighting the military-industrial complex. We're fighting
the American people. The drug war, the NSA, the never-ending spying. I'm telling you, man. I think just everything needs to be cut. Fuck everything. You know what? These are the people that let 9/11 happen. The FBI, the CIA, all these people. They either let it happen or they helped make it happen. So they don't need to. We don't need them, and everything that's been created after it, the Department of Homeland Security, the TSA, and all these other organizations that we don't even know about. Nobody even talks about ever.
Right. Yeah. That would include DARPA, who is involved in the current pharmaceutical debacle.
Mm.
Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, they're into all kinds of stuff, and bio warfare is not beyond the realm of their involvement. Right now I just want people to go back to work. I want the economy to open up, and we'll try to fucking put some duct tape on our wounds and limp off to work and get a paycheck and not, you got 20 million minimum evictions coming up, and Congress is still dicking around with a second rescue package.
Congress is dicking around, until they fucking get their vacation, which is on Friday. On Friday, they go out of town for like 30 days. They do it every summer in August, 30, 40 days. Every fucking summer. It's disgusting, man.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve Act was passed on New Year's Eve with only about 3 or 4 senators present to vote, and that's how they passed it. And so, Congress is not. They're the most corrupt people. The Democrats are literally holding the American people hostage so that they can try again continuously to make Trump look bad. And I'm not a Trumper.
The fucking Democrats are making Trump look good. Oh my God. If Trump didn't have the worst fucking opponents in the fucking world, if they didn't have people who couldn't fucking put 2 sentences together without a lie, fucking he might actually have a threat to him. But Trump is so fucking piece of shit horrible, but the Democrats are worse. Oh my God. It's just disgusting. And this is what we're going to get forever as long as you people buy into the R and the D thing. The Republicans are not on your side. The Democrats are not on your side. That's all there is to it. And if you can't see that, you don't want to see.
Yeah, right now, there's a new thing, there's talk about an FBI investigation into his tax returns, and he overestimated his wealth and to defraud insurance companies and get bank loans and all that stuff. And it's like, it's just another investigation meant to fucking cause trouble for him, and it's been going on for 4 years now. I knew that 4 years ago that he was overestimating his wealth, and that's why he was hiding his tax returns. But
of course, he's a fucking braggadocious buffoon. Of course, he's gonna overestimate his wealth. Give me a break.
Yeah, he's not the only guy I know that does that. It's when wealth is how you measure your status, the more you got in the public eye is the more important you are. But at the same time, there's not hardly anything wrong with that that I know of. I'm not a lawyer, but fucking the people. You're right. The Democrats are making him look good because they're so fucking stupid. They're playing 2-dimensional chess, and he's playing, as best he can, 3-dimensional chess. So. It's a crime, but he's still under the spell of the deep state, especially big pharma. Here's some statistics from past pandemics. 1918 Spanish flu, 50 million dead, world population 950 million. That's 5.26% of the world population that died at that time. 2018 seasonal flu, 650,000 dead. World population was 7.5 billion, and that's exactly 0.009% of the world population that died in 2018. Right now in 2020, we got this COVID-19 thing. You got 488,729 dead, if you believe the statistics. The world population 7.7 billion, and that's 0.006 of the world population that has died. But the entire world economy is shut down because of this weaponized media that's convincing people the air is dangerous and the atmosphere is dangerous. If 1% of the world population died right now, that would be 77 million people. So we need to open up America. We need to, point our finger at the people that are lying to us. And we got to go out and, like your deal with the dentist. You thought maybe he was giving you dirty looks. Maybe he was judging you.
No. I bought him dinner on his birthday. No. No,
well,
he wasn't.
I heard you say, "Oh, who's this guy giving me dirty looks?" And you were looking right back at him, and then you realized it was your dentist.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is he's got his stupid mask on, and who knows what their look is with their stupid mask on.
Yeah, I understand, but I have yet to do what I want to do, which is to kind of stand up in my own town against the stupidity, even though it will look like troublemaking and just being crazy, reactionary or a troublemaker. I really do. If it gets much worse, I'm going to try to make some public statement, like walking into a store with no mask and let them call the cops or let them fuck with me and try to be polite, because all I've done so far is spread information and try to investigate what the real data on this COVID-19 media psyop is. And I think it's worth opening up. My own personal discomfort is worth trying to open up the economy. And the more people that do it, the more we'll be able to get through this thing. The worst that could happen is they throw you in jail. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about maybe causing a little trouble in a responsible way and seeing what happens. Testing the waters physically rather than just in an online way. Because I know the truth already. I know that it's we're being lied to, and that the consequences of the lockdown are a minimum of 10 times worse than any damages done by the virus itself. Death, suicide, lack of medical care for people that have, conditions that are not related to COVID-19, loss of jobs, evictions, divorces, domestic violence, you name it. Plus the trauma done to the children who are being trained to be slaves. So it's worth fighting for. Not everybody will agree with me, but it's never happened before, so I might as well try to do my part, in a responsible way.
Well, it's dangerous, so just be careful and don't overreact.
Right? Yeah. I got to make sure I don't overreact, because I'm kind of reactive, But protests still going cool? What's happening? I'm looking at your thing now. What do you got? Utah, Portland, Minneapolis. Yeah.
Yeah, did you see the Stump Lake?
Yeah, and it's beautiful, beautiful. But I'm one of these crazy guys. I actually believe the Sasquatch is a legitimate animal, especially up there in Washington and Canada, and uh,
Great
so
Northwest.
the Great Northwest. Yeah. So I've never seen one, but I've heard enough testimonies to convince me that it's a really reclusive, large beast. You know.
Well, I saw a cougar on the news the other night that was in somebody's backyard, not very far from here, and I was like, "Dang!" It was grabbing a raccoon that was in somebody's backyard. Like, hey,
Whoa. Yeah.
it saw the raccoon. I guess it was stalking it, and it got it in the backyard, and it just cornered it and went and grabbed it and just fucking walked away with it. It was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's life, baby. We caught a cougar here on a trail cam, and it's pretty much desert hills around here. It's not like lush and green where you are. It's a dried out, burnt out national forest area. Yeah, man, really weird shit going down on planet Earth right now. Just smoking a lot of dope, trying to stay healthy, learning every day, learn more and more and more.
Okay, so on this bottom left-hand corner here, this is a Blue Lives Matter rally in Cottonwood Heights, Utah. Blue Lives Matter rally across the street from a Black Lives Matter rally, because apparently they can't commingle peacefully,
No, they
which
can't. I
which
got a
is
friend.
insane. But go ahead.
I got a friend in Salt Lake, and he keeps me up on all the weird shit happening in Salt Lake. And he says protesters. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the left wing protesters are pretty radical, and they're, I mean, not dangerous radical. It's just like uh, they got all these weird ideas, like they're saving the country, just like everybody else, waving signs, and they're not radical like Portland is radical. They're not radical like Seattle is radical or Minneapolis. They're just a weird kind of Mormon type of soft.
They're not
Soft
trying to
turn.
they're not trying to fit in like the rest of us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, according to my friend, Salt Lake is a really unusual town, and the right wing, the Mormons, that's right wing. Uh, they are unusual too. So it's just another dynamic, really. But
It's
it doesn't look like there's any weird shit happening there. They're just on two different sides of the street. It's like two monkeys with bullhorns.
I'm really just it blows my mind that they have to be opposite sides of the street, because they can't fucking exist together. This is the problem. You know what I mean? This is the idiotic division that our country has come to. People, we can't just all go, of course, Blue Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter. And then we can all be together, right? If Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter, and we all admit that, then boom. There's no reason for us to be on opposite sides of the street, is there? So what the fuck is the problem here that I'm not getting?
Well, I'm guessing the guys across the street with the American flags are the right wing, and where the camera is at is the left wing.
Oh, well, I think the cameras are on the right, on the Blue Lives Matter side of the street, is what I'm seeing. But uh, I just don't. I mean, why is it that these people have to be, kept apart? Why is it that they can't commingle? I'm really. I mean, why isn't they can't go? Of course, Black Lives Matter. Of course, Blue Lives Matter. How is it that those things are like, what I mean, opposite, somehow on opposite sides of the fucking street? I don't get it.
Yeah, well, it's really easy to figure out. It's just that the media has uh, painted with a big wide brush the left-wing protesters, the people who are supposedly protesting against the police state, as anarchists and communists,
Oh, huh.
and and therefore the enemy and the other, and they're trying to destroy America. And then the people say, "Oh, look at we're under threat." The right wing, we're under threat. They want to tear our houses down, and they're communists. And so they come out in the street, and those are the statists and the conformists, and they don't understand really that there is a police problem all over America, worse in certain hot spots than others. And I don't think shit goes down in Salt Lake City. Nothing goes down there. It's like the most, except commerce.
I think the cops there can be pretty rabid, dude. I mean, you spit on the street, you spit on the sidewalk there, you're gonna wind up in the police station, if not in a fucking jail cell.
Yeah, well, it's all just bread and circuses to me. It's like I'm not going to participate in the division of the American people by choosing a side, a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or a conservative. I don't want to be that stupid, because I see them all as the same way you see them, as just people who seem to lose their own identity, and because they've done that, they gravitate to one side or the other when it's really just people.
It's so stupid. I mean, they act like they can't. One side can't admit that blue lives matter. The other side can't admit that black lives matter. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. You know, and this is where we're at in America. Is this fucking idiotic right-left garbage? What does Black Lives Matter have to do with right or left? What does fucking Blue Lives Matter have to do with right or left? You're saying, you know, these people's lives have value and they matter, you know, and I mean, that has nothing to do with right or left anything. This is so stupid.
Well, the weird thing about the time that we're living in is, for a minimum of the last 10 years, uh, it has been amped up and increased that politics is more or less a spectator sport, like football or something. And especially now during the lockdown, the protests are politicized. The perception of the left and the right is completely exaggerated and amplified. And it goes all the way into whether or not you want to wear a mask or not. It's like, if you don't agree with the government narrative about the fake scientific data the CDC and the NIH is pushing, and the WHO, you're some kind of a terrorist, and you're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. But if you do, when an intellectual actually does his research, he realizes, oh, we're being fucking played by either evil people or morons or both. And so they politicize the actual data analysis, and they politicize medical data, and that's why all the YouTube videos are getting banned and disappeared, because somebody doesn't want the medical narrative challenged by facts. And so I always go where the facts lead me. If the facts led me to believe that this was just a naturally occurring thing that hasn't been taken advantage of by the powers that be, then I would go there. But the facts say this is a man-made thing. Big Pharma is ruling us right now. They've shut down planet Earth, and they've made 3/4 of the population deathly afraid of the air and the atmosphere and other people. And guess what? In my book, that's the definition of satanic. Is like, you're not going to do that to me, motherfucker. I'm going to live and die free. That includes how I want to breathe or walk down the street. So fuck you, especially when the data's wrong. And they call me a conspiracy theorist. It's like, so we are in the apocalypse. The apocalypse means the great unveiling. So I thought
All right, so now we have the
9/11 was
second. We have the second camera down in Cottonwood Heights. It looks like there's one on the Black Lives Matter side and one on the Blue Lives Matter side. They were just showing a protester on the Black Lives Matter side there with a bullhorn right on the street, and I believe it looked like he was strapped. So you see all the protesters on the other side. Oh, yeah, he's definitely. Is that strapped? Is he carrying? He got something there. I can't tell. Looks like he might be strapped. But you can see a lot of the protesters on the Blue Lives Matter side carrying. So
yeah.
I can't tell what that is in his bag there. I don't think that's a gun.
Just in case they got to shoot those communists, it's perfectly legal, I guess, to open carry in Utah,
I got no problem with people open carrying. I really don't. I was kind of pointing out that I thought it was on both sides, but it doesn't look like that person is actually carrying a weapon in whatever she has strapped to her thigh.
I don't think either side has a clue of what they're doing. They're just bored, and if they would open up the economy, all the bored people would go back to work and say, "Oh God, thank God I got a paycheck." And they're slowing down that second paycheck that's supposed to be coming to the American people. It's like, man, the casualties are going to mount up and mount up and mount up. And Nancy Pelosi is going to come to the rescue somehow next week, maybe. So fuck this shit. It's a clown show. Stay sane. That's my only advice. Stay human. Stay sane.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later, Mike. Take care.
Okay. Thanks for calling. It's nice to hear from you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, and that's good advice to stay sane and stay hydrated. That's what I'm saying. Stay hydrated. Now I watched last night. I saw that V for Vendetta is now available on Netflix. So if you're looking for a good movie to watch, you haven't seen that movie for a while, or you've never seen it before, V for Vendetta is very much like what's going on right now in the streets of America, and also what's going on with the COVID-19. So I would highly recommend that video, V for Vendetta. And I must also point out that V for Vendetta was actually first scheduled to come out weeks after 9/11, weeks after the terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers on September 11th, 2001. Weeks after that, V for Vendetta was supposed to come out, but they had to postpone it for like 6 months, or maybe a little bit longer, because it hit just a little bit too close to home, right? And like there's this line in the movie where they say that they tell the people that it was an emergency demolition that they had to do of the old one of the buildings that got blown up. It was an emergency demolition, and I was like, almost bit my tongue. I was like, I love this movie. So, and it's very inspirational to many people, I believe. So if you get a chance and you have not seen it, V for Vendetta is available at this time. It just became available again on Netflix. I've been talking about how it was available just a few months back, and then the COVID-19 hit, and all of a sudden V for Vendetta disappeared. So right now it's available on the Netflix. If you have that, you might want to check it out before it disappears again, because again, it hits very close to home with what's happening right now in this moment. So I highly recommend. I can't highly enough recommend it. Even if it didn't have that much to do with what was going on in this moment, I would still highly recommend it. It's amazing work. It's amazing, brilliant work. All right. Gotta stay hydrated. Stay sane and stay hydrated. That's very good advice. All right, so let's see where we are at. Back to the drone video. We have. Okay, so again, in Cottonwood Heights, on one side of the street, we have Blue Lives Matter protesters, and on the other side of the street, we have Black Lives Matter protesters. And whatever it is that's happening right here, we probably want to stay tuned into because those guys look like fucking steroided out muscle heads whose brains are probably full of Swiss cheese holes because that's what steroids do to you. And looking for a fight. Looking for a fight. So again, there's Black Lives Matter on one side and Blue Lives Matter on the other side. And I really don't understand how it is that that they have to be separated like this. Hello, caller.
Hello, Michael. It's Katrinka. How are you this evening?
I am better now. How about you, Katrinka?
I think you should let me replace the voice that says we're being recorded with my voice when people
Cool.
call in.
I would love that.
I think that is a fabulous idea.
Yeah, I would love that.
So here's the deal. I'm bad at my job. No, that's not actually true. I'm really good at my job, but I do too many jobs. And I sent you an email, and then I called Craig, and I could have, in the probably like 38 minutes I was talking to Craig, I probably could have been like, hey, bro, did you get my email? But the truth of the matter is, I didn't do that. But I talked to Craig about a lot of other things. He is super interesting. I have like 6 new recipes. Where did you find him?
That guy is full of information. There's no doubt about it.
He is fascinating. He was breaking down little small business tidbits I didn't even need or know I needed to hear today, but I'm telling you, I desperately needed to hear them today. He is so insightful. Anyhow, so how are you feeling? It's Monday.
I'm good.
You've been off for 2 days.
We had a
good
wonderful. We went to the mountains. It was so beautiful, and then we got to go to the beach yesterday. Dogs love the beach, so can't go wrong. It's a pretty good weekend.
I just saw the beach, just the West Coast, the ocean. I just recently saw it like last week for the first time. I've been on the coast several times. Never before, ever, have I ever put my feet in the water.
Huh.
And I must say, it was beautiful.
Where was that at?
Very recent. It was in, I think, Venice Beach.
Oh, cool. I haven't actually ever been to Venice Beach, but I grew up in California, and we spent more Christmases on the beach than, inside. So.
Wow. More Christmas on the beach.
Yeah.
Wow. That looks like a crazy, comical Santa Claus greeting card in my mind. So I wanted to call you. I'm hoping that my friend who you will verbally be introduced to, I hope, here in the near future. I really just want you to meet my friend. His name is Deron Black, and he's a politician, a local politician, or a politician to be, perhaps. He's running for the 23rd District Representative in my city, and he's from my city, and he's grassroots. And, I called and bothered you guys when you were in the woods just a little bit, and asked Craig if it would be okay to just kind of smash your show on Monday and introduce you to my friend. So
that sounds awesome.
Is there anything you want to know? Is there any questions you want to ask me about that? I don't even know if he's called in yet. I mean, Craig would have to tell us. So we can sit here and talk behind his back as long as we want to, knowing he's listening.
Well, I'm all about freedom and ending the drug war and the police state. And, I need to have people who, number one, want to legalize cannabis. It's it's just the top of the list. And you might think it's selfish or whatever, but I see nothing better to heal the earth than fucking cannabis, and I want it legalized worldwide. So,
can I ask you a question about that? So, okay, do you even literally mean like healing the earth, like hemp and all different kinds of strains, like being good for the soil too? Because recently somebody told me that.
Yeah, I mean,
growing is actually good for regeneration of soil, and I didn't know that.
It pulls radiation out of the soil it pulls it out of the. I see it as this untapped amazingly renewable resource that that is just like limitless fucking industrial applications. You know, we can build our house out of it. We can fuel our cars on it. We can make our children's clothing out of it. We can feed millions of people with it. You know, if not billions. It's just limitless what can be done here. And then there's the medical and just the whole, you know, endocannabinoid system that runs throughout the entire body.
That is a gigantic word, Michael.
I'm just saying these are you know, I think taking away this amazing renewable resource from humanity is one of the greatest crimes against humanity of all time.
I will not disagree with you, Mr. Michael Fox News man. I agree with you.
You calling me Mr. Man?
I have nothing to say.
You calling me Mr. Man?
I'm calling you Mr. Man.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I've actually known this individual for a really long time, and you actually know, because I've told you guys on the air before, just at least briefly mentioned some of the weird obstacles I had as far as being off grid to avoid like some stalker issues this year. And so all that being in the past, and I will never mention it again, but just to say that had that not happened, I would have been very involved from the very beginning with this individual's campaign. I was really excited to see that Jerome was running for a representative for the 23rd District in Kansas City when I saw him announce that. And really, it's a primary tomorrow, but it's the most important time to vote, in my opinion, because we've done well. We have Brandon Ellington. We have politicians that are grassroots in Kansas City, and he really is somebody who's been fighting since I was like, well, nobody needs to know my age, but he's been fighting for over a decade plus, and really publicly challenging things you would love, Michael. Publicly challenging, I won't say too much, but publicly challenging authority, he's all about it.
Yeah, that's good. When I say, you know, defunding the police isn't enough, I mean that. I mean, this country, it's not the country, it's not the people, it's this damn government is out of control, and they do evil endlessly, and they do it in the good name of all of our countrymen, you know, and women, and I just can't stand it, because, you know, I just think we all deserve much better than this, you know, and that's why it's awesome to see that you being excited about, you know, an individual like that, because I would think that would probably.
Oh my God, and I am, and I want to say one more thing about him, not to toot his horn too loudly, but what I'm saying is facts. I'm always just saying facts. The other thing is that this individual, like, it doesn't matter whether or not he got elected last time. He's still out in the community. He's still showing up and making an impact in his community where it matters absolutely, absolutely, absolutely the most. I mean, he's representing probably one of the most crime-ridden and what was once actually some pretty beautiful neighborhoods. And we really just want to see them restored, but it's, you know, it's not a good part of town, and he's advocating for them, you know, night and day, it doesn't matter. So, and that's something that I think is really important in local politicians. If that person wants to be elected, but then they don't get elected, and then all of a sudden you never hear from them again, probably if they pop back up in 4 years, don't vote for them again.
Yeah.
But that's not this guy.
Yeah, these guys who disappear and just pop up every election are horrible.
Right.
So
ask Craig, is my boy on the line?
No. He said no.
Damn. We're getting stood up. I bet he's getting interviewed by somebody else. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, that's good. No, I mean, I bet he's a busy guy. If tomorrow's the election, he's got to be a busy guy.
It's definitely the primary. You know what? Let me look at my phone. Let me look at my screen because I'm talking on it. Maybe he said something. One moment.
Alright, so it looks like there's a lot of people.
Okay, well, let's talk about something else then.
Okay, well, what did you do this weekend?
Well, I am not supposed to have any children in my house on the weekend, so I had 3 times the normal amount.
Oh, wow.
That's what I did. That was not my decision exactly, but it was eventful. But that was mostly to celebrate being home. I had been in Los Angeles recently, and honestly, the mood out there, you want to hear something crazy.
Yeah.
What, what, what is liquor costing in your town right now? Have you been to a Rite Aid lately? Like, what is the price of liquor where you're at in Seattle?
I don't know. I have no
Because
clue.
here's the deal. Everywhere you go in LA, it's like 60% off. And in the Midwest, it's all like, nobody's had a sale on liquor since before COVID. And lots of things you can't even get, like they just don't even have them. Like lots of normal, like mid to high shelf liquors aren't even here. And I finally figured out what it is. There's a backlog at the coast. Like we're getting the liquor here, but then it's not, nobody's shipping it because COVID's in the middle. That's my theory.
Huh.
I mean, you didn't provide me with any more information, but Nancy Drew over here, that's what I have so far.
Well, I don't. It's 60% off the regular price you pay, huh?
Oh my God, it was crazy.
Huh.
Boy, I saw this Patron. The big Patron. Like $18.99.
Huh.
What? I almost started just like throwing it, but then I realized I was in an airplane with only a carry-on and I couldn't even carry on one. But I was going to come back here and hustle.
I don't, I have no idea about what the price is here, but that sounds like a very good price, not even knowing, I'm pretty sure that's
Not even knowing,
Yeah.
Hey, what's the price of... Oh, how about this? Do you know where to get lilac diesel? It's a strain. No one has it anymore. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think I've heard of that one before, no.
Oh.
But I can keep my eyes open. Everybody here has menus online. You can just search. If you just search Leafy, you'll find, and then, punch in your address as like downtown Seattle. They'll probably tell you where to find it. Well,
I think I just accidentally skipped to a slightly shittier universe that doesn't have it anymore. I don't know what to tell you. It's been like 3 years.
I never heard that. I have smoked some lavender in the past, but
I smoked some lavender.
but it wasn't my favorite.
It wasn't my favorite. Sorry, you
Oh.
cracked me up. Okay. Well, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get off the phone. I chatted my boy. He calls up. You talk to him. Have a great time talking to him. He's
I
my
will.
boy.
I will. I'm not going to go easy on him, right?
Oh, please do not. Maybe you'll get, yeah. I'm not going to say anything else. But I will also say, you've got to look up this bro, J-Rod the Problem. I'm not going to tell you anything else about him, but you have to look him up.
Look him up on
that's
the
my
YouTube?
latest project. And anywhere, Google.
Okay.
Then, and then I just bought, or at least put a deposit down on the van I'm going to buy from the Kung Fu Vampire in San Jose. So there's talk, because Craig and I talk. We talk, okay? Craig and I talk. We plan things. And we've decided that I'm just going to tour up and bring the best acts and come and do a bunch of, because he provided me with some great information about outdoor venues where I could possibly just bring a tour, through your part of town. So that sounds like an immediate goal of mine. So when I get there, let's hang out.
For sure. I've been telling you that for months and months. I want to
I know,
but
share. I'm trying to tell you I'm really coming, and this will be really awesome news for Austin, who's listening.
I want to share.
Inside the Lotus Lounge.
I want to share.
Austin, we're going to Seattle.
I want to share food with you. I would like to do that very much.
Austin wants to share food with you too. I don't. I'll eat both of your food. I'm looking forward to being fed.
Okay, good.
Okay. Well, I love talking to you so much, and I appreciate our time. And maybe I'll call back in later. I'm going to pay attention to the show and see, what kind of shenanigans you get into this evening.
We'll see. You never know.
All right.
Good to hear from you,
Peace.
Katrinka.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's our buddy Katrinka. She's coming to have food with me. And more, I hope. Let's see. So... And she has some political guy that she's trying to get to call in, so maybe we'll get that person here, some candidate who's probably very busy since tomorrow is the election day. But some candidate she wants to have call in and talk with us. We will be glad to do that momentarily if Katrinka's candidate makes it. Otherwise, I have a lovely video about, you know, that there's 35 candidates. Oh, I don't know which video that is. Here, I'm going to play this video real quick. Hold on. Be right back.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Okay, so again, this is Cottonwood Heights, Utah. There was a Black Lives rally, a Black Lives Matter rally. Oh, you can see it there on one side of the street, and a Blue Lives Matter rally on the other side of the street. So we're keeping an eye on that. Now, I have a bunch more videos ready for you, including cops harass black family. What else do I have here? Washington State governor's race. There's 35 people running against the current governor of this state, which is horrible. He's a horrible, horrible person. And then I also have, let's see, what is else? Pigs Live Here. I have that video. Pigs Live Here. And Chief Best wanting to brutalize people who march down her street because that's who she is, you know. And, you know, hot air balloon accident and all kinds of other stuff. But we will get to those momentarily. We're going to keep an eye here on what's going on in Cottonwood, Utah. Make sure that we don't have no problem here. We don't have no problem, do we? I don't think we have no problems. We don't have no problems. No problems. There's not a problem. Although I still don't understand how come Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter can't just get along, right? I don't see how they're different things, you know. But I don't know. People just want to hate, I guess. All right, so, and then we have the drone video from this weekend. Now that is Golden Gardens Park, which is just north of Seattle. It's a lovely little spot where Craig and Sam went to get the sunset on video last night. Craig was chasing sailboats and stuff and such, and trains and cranes and automobiles. But we need to keep an eye on this for a minute. Make sure everything's cool. Everything's cool. Don't worry, everything's cool. We're cool. We're cool. Everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. We're cool. I'm just making sure we're just keeping an eye on it. Just keeping an eye. Everybody's cool. Oh, see, we're taking selfies. It's fun. We're having a good time over here. Good. I'm glad they're having a good time. It looks like they're having fun, taking their selfies and such. These are the things that people do. The what? Hello, caller.
Hello, friend. Your caller man told me that I could not destroy you. Here's my question. If you're going to defund the police, how are you going to defend the schools, the children, the families, and the businesses? How do you expect to save them?
Well, what we need to do is we need to end the drug war, and by ending the drug war, we will end 50% of crime. And if we end 50% of crime, then we don't really need to have the police at the same funding, do we?
But do you see the weapons? Like, do you see not that the people are there? There are people out there that just want to do harm. There is no drugs involved. There is just weapons.
Right. Okay.
They will just kill them.
But you have to understand, the weapons come from people who have endless amounts of money because of the black market. Okay, but
you could have one gun. You could
okay. And here's the deal. If the cops stop focusing on a drug war and start focusing on the person who has a problem with a gun, then that will be more likely that they'll be able to stop that or take care of that before something bad happens. As where if they're focused on all this drug shit, it doesn't help anyone.
But you see that one person with one cheap gun could do a lot of damage if you wanted to.
Right, is why again, the cops. Okay. Listen, the cops listen to people's cell phone calls. The cops will look at people's fake Facebook shit. They know a lot of these people that are troublemakers. If they'd stop fucking around and spending all these limited resources on the stupid drug war, then they could focus on these people that are a problem. You get that,
so
right?
You say to defund the police. You're saying that they won't exist anymore. You say that they won't be there anymore. You say that they won't help anymore.
I'm saying that now they have to focus on something else. 50% of crime will end. I'm saying 50% of crime will end. So 50% of crime will still be.
Where's the proof? I mean, how do you know?
Because that's what the statistics say. If you look at places where they've legalized drugs, like Portugal, crime took a big nosedive.
But you see, drugs are also harmful. You see how many people die of overdoses.
Yeah, but you know what? The drug war doesn't keep anyone from doing heroin, does it? In fact, the drug war has brought us out. In fact, the drug war has brought us a meth and heroin epidemic. Has it not?
No, I think the laws against them has created a almost safe place. They know that it's illegal and it suppresses them. Are you saying that cocaine cannot kill you? Are you saying that drugs cannot hurt you?
I'm saying that making them illegal does not stop anyone from doing heroin who wants to do heroin right now. Try and keep up, okay?
Okay, man. I'm just trying to say that if you had drugs, would you kill yourself with them? Yes, you would, because it is toxic. It is a toxin.
People do drugs for years and years and years and don't kill themselves with it. Okay?
But look, their brains become twisted and they become mentally disabled.
They do the same thing with the stock market. They do the same thing with fucking casinos. You want to get rid of them too?
You see, casinos do not rot your brain and destroy your brain.
Well, that's not your fucking call, is it? Sugar does. You want to get rid of sugar?
No, it's not.
Sugar destroys your brain. You want to get rid of sugar?
No, it makes you fat, but
it destroys your fucking brain, dude.
So how does this have to go with defunding the police, though? You're saying make all drugs legal or defund the police?
No, I'm saying if you end the drug war, you will end 50%. Listen, you don't care what I'm saying. I'm telling you, you end the drug war, you end 50% of crime. Okay? So you end 50% of crime, then it's easy to defund the fucking... And by the way, we don't need the goddamn Department of Homeland Security. We just get rid of them, and that's a big part of the police state gone. Okay? That's defunding maximum. We don't need the Drug Enforcement Agency. So we get rid of them.
Okay, so let's say this. I agree with you on the drug, yes, right? But I heard you say just a few moments ago, I was listening, okay? I know what you were saying. You said that you wanted to defund the police in your title, correct? You wanted to defund the police.
Right.
But you also said at the same time that you wanted the police to focus on something else, not drugs. So how is defunding the police also making them focus on something else when they do not even exist? But my question to you was, how are they going to protect somebody who wanted to do evil would walk in with one sip of food and damage?
Listen, your phone is just cracking and breaking up like crazy, dude. I don't know if your microphone's moving around or what's happening, but it's like it sounds horrible.
You see, I asked you if somebody wanted to do harm without drugs, nothing to do with drugs, who will come to help them? Who will come to their assistance?
Look at the cops. If somebody wants to hurt you, the cops aren't going to protect you from that. Okay? When seconds matter, the cops are minutes away. Okay? You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your own family. That's a big part of what the Second Amendment's all about, is being able to protect yourself and your family.
So you're okay if I walked into a place and just
Again, you're cutting out on your microphone. Okay, I don't know.
I say this. I thank you for the talk, and I agree. I admire your perseverance. That is one thing that I admire about you. I do admire your perseverance, and you are very serious on what you do, and I admire that.
Yeah.
I may disagree with you, but I agree that the fact that you should always stay with something that you believe in. So I thank you for the call.
Okay, listen. Your microphone was great there. If you want to say something, whatever it is you do, see, you change in the middle of talking so that your microphone is in a different position, and then we can't hear you. But then okay, he hung up. Never mind. Okay. So, because I would have loved to continue to have a conversation with him. I don't think we were quite through talking, but apparently he didn't feel the same way. Okay, so I'm not sure what's happening here in Cottonwood. It looks like still a bunch of people in the street, but I don't know. For whatever reason, it looks a little on the tense side. But that doesn't matter. Let's look at some drone video. We have drone video from this weekend. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like going on vacation. It's like, I told Craig, it looks like the Bahamas. Let's see. Okay, so, I also have murder hornets. The murder hornets are coming. And, okay, so let's see. I am going to go ahead and play a video for you now about the governor's race in Washington State and the fact that there are 35 candidates competing against the current governor, Jay Inslee, who has to go find a different career because he's dirty. It's interesting that one of the candidates seems to be very good at getting camera time from the local news agencies.
Tonight, more pushback from state leaders over President Trump's comments about mail-in voting for the November election.
And the president claims a vote by mail election would be inaccurate and fraudulent. State Attorney General Bob Ferguson says the president is wrong. He put out a statement today saying in part, quote, "Let me be clear, there is no data to support this baseless claim. If the president uses it as an excuse to try to illegally delay the election, we'll see him in court." Vote by mail works in states across the country, and it works in Washington. Now, we also spoke with Washington Secretary of State Kim Wyman on the security of mail-in ballots. She says each of the counties have had time to build in security controls, things like ID checks at the time of registration, as well as cybersecurity controls. Here's what she told us last week.
And I've invited both Attorney General Barr and President Trump to either come to Washington in person or send some of their staff to come out and let me take you to a county election office and show you what we do and what can happen to secure our elections.
Now, Wyman says our state is seeing a 30% increase in ballot returns than normal, and she expects a high voter turnout.
Well, Tuesday is primary election night in our state, which means voters have until 8 p.m. tomorrow night to get their ballots into an official drop box. And like most things in our lives these days, the COVID-19 crisis is also a game changer when it comes to politics and the art of last-minute campaigning. Matt Lorch is live in Everett now, where one candidate is trying to appeal to commuters right now. Hey, Matt.
You know, for the candidates, this is really the final countdown of this primary election. Go ahead and take a look over my shoulder. Republican candidate for governor Tim Eyman is using these final hours, trying to be as visible as possible. Up on this pedestrian overpass, waving signs at cars down on I-5 below. Just one of the many ways candidates are trying to deliver their final pitches during a pandemic. Connecting online. For Congressman Denny Heck, candidate for lieutenant governor, it's a vital part of a new campaign strategy.
The single most powerful tool that candidates used to have is to go door to door, either the candidate themselves or volunteers on their behalf to deliver information about the candidate. Nobody wants to see anybody at their door right now. None.
He's hosting town halls on Facebook.
I spend way less time in my car polluting the air and way more time having interaction with people over video conferencing.
So from what you're saying, it sounds like this works for you and how you like to campaign.
We'll find out tomorrow night whether or not it's working for me, though, Matt, won't we?
Finding community parks. We're going across the state.
That's one of Heck's competitors in the primary, Republican conservative radio host Marty McClendon, who's not shying away from in-person events, traveling to every county in the state.
Knowing that those that feel comfortable enough to go out to a public park to meet a statewide candidate, they will. And it means a lot to them that you show up in person. So even in the midst of this stuff. State
Senator, Democrat Mark Elias, also running for lieutenant governor, is tapping into the power of his people. His volunteer phone banks reaching 100,000 voters, according to the campaign.
Thank you.
Former Tacoma mayor, now candidate for Congress, Marilyn Strickland, delivering her closing arguments during a weekly discussion on Facebook Live, highlighting how campaigning has changed, like the issues critical to voters.
When I declared my candidacy back in December, none of us imagined that we would be in a pandemic, an economic crisis, and social unrest because of racial injustice, and here we are.
How expired are those tabs? $30 car tab guy Tim Eyman, now Republican candidate for governor, going old school.
Fire Inslee and hire Eyman for governor.
Unveiling his brand new sign, hoping drivers below also want to replace Governor Inslee.
The day that Jay Inslee said, stay at home, I defied it and stayed out there and kept fighting and kept making the argument while all the other candidates stayed home.
I am so glad you guys are here.
Not all candidates. His Republican challenger, Lauren Culp, holding big rallies, one with almost 2,000 people, and already planning an insubordinate victory rally for Tuesday night in Leavenworth, with masks offered but not required, highlighting the radically different approaches to campaigning during COVID. Now, we should mention almost all of the candidates on your ballot have some sort of final event scheduled for the next 24 hours, either in-person events like you're looking at here or doing something online. And then it is really up to the voters at that time. We should tell you, you need your ballot postmarked by tomorrow or dropped off in a ballot box by 8 p.m. We're live in Everett. Matt Lorch, Q13 News.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. And, of course, we'll track all the key races on primary election day tomorrow and also bring you results as they come in on Q13 News at 8, 9, 10, and 11.
All right, down to one camera over here in Cottonwood Heights, Utah. Keep an eye. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, just to make sure that there's nothing stupid that goes on there. Other than that, we still have this lovely drone video from Craig from yesterday. He shot lots of video over the weekend, so and then rendered it, made it all pretty for you guys. So we'll have that to go in the background. I'll keep an eye on the live feed. If anything's happened there, I'll be sure to let you know. Other than that, this is Call-In Show. The number is 805-669-6397. We are talking about the fact that defunding the police just isn't enough. We must defund this evil-doing government. It's almost like defunding the police is meaningless, because this government is just going to keep on going on making evil laws against the people, doing a war against the people, burning up all of our resources, all of our very limited, precious resources. Instead of spending them on education, we're going to do this drug war forever. Doesn't matter. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, going to be the same fucking outcome. We don't need the DEA. The DEA has brought us a heroin epidemic. We don't need the Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security has brought us a meth epidemic and a tidal wave of other crime. Okay, this is one of the worst organizations ever made, and the reason why is because I believe what their main job is to prepare local police departments to go to war with the people. To prepare local police departments, to arm them, to show them the catalog, to walk them through the catalog of all the amazing weaponry that's available to them, and all the government grants to help them get that amazing weaponry, and then techniques on how to lock down their city, how to lock down your city. Which did not work out very well for them in Portland, I must say. But this is the job of and we saw how successful these people are at what they do in Portland, right? They changed nothing. They made everything 10 times worse in Portland. That's the Department of Homeland Security. Let's just not even bother defunding them. It just needs to be abolished. The DEA, the DHS, gone. You know, how many hundreds of millions of dollars would that save? Right? We don't need those things. And then we can talk about defunding the NSA from spying on all Americans. They don't need to spy on all Americans. They just need to spy on the people that are going to crash planes into buildings. Okay? They don't need to be gathering every picture your 12-year-old daughter takes off of her cell phone, whether she sends it to someone or not, because that's what the NSA is currently doing. We need to defund the fuck out of the NSA, defund the fuck out of the CIA, defund the fuck out of the FBI, you know? And how much, I mean, that would just save, you know, and the Pentagon, okay? We need to stop all this shit, because we're just doing evil everywhere. We're just, you know, world's police state. It just couldn't be uglier. The good name of America. You know, the only way it's going to get uglier is if we start nuking countries, or we start giving Saudi Arabia nuclear technology. Nice neighborhood, huh? Pretty nice looking neighborhood. That's when we went up north. We went up north to about, I don't know, an hour's drive to a couple beaches up there. And it was lovely. And there's just all kinds of beautiful stuff everywhere. Oh, okay. So, is this the same video that Stump Lake is on? Okay. So, if anybody again wants to call, the number is 805-669-6397. Otherwise, again, I just feel very strongly about this. It's so easy to end so much of this stuff that we don't need. We don't need, I think that the people in Congress are making way too much money. And I think that they probably have way too big staff allowances. I think that they're probably spending tons and tons and tons of money that they don't need. I bet you the senators each have just millions of dollars to hire staff with. I don't think that this is, we need to know what's going on there, and we need to start fucking defunding that. Okay? We need to start defunding all this fucking criminal element, the true criminal element that has made this fucking country, the land of the free, into a police state. We need to defund the fuck out of them. Alright, so let's see. I believe I'm going to play this hot air balloon accident video because you guys should know about it, and I gotta warn you, it's not pretty, okay? Just so you know, hot air balloon accident involving children.
Our images coming in this evening of a horrible hot air balloon accident. 3 balloons crashing. Several people, including children, rushed to the hospital. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman with late reporting.
You can see those 3 hot air balloons hurtling across the Wyoming landscape, the wind driving them into the turf. There's that bounce.
Oh my God.
And then the balloon baskets planted into the mud and the cries of children.
Are you okay, my family?
The local sheriff saying 17 people were transported to the hospital.
It was horrific because you're being dragged down. You don't know when it's going to stop. You know that if you fall out, you're probably going to die because this cage weighs more than a bus is going to just slam right over you.
Dozens of people were aboard that trio of balloons, which took off near Grand Teton Village in Wyoming around 8 a.m.
People are screaming, and I'm worried. My other daughter, Faith, who is 14, she fainted. My wife's shouting to my son to try to keep his arms in. He's trying his best not to fall out.
This drone video shows the aftermath, those giant deflated balloons, the scarred earth, and empty baskets. Now, both the NTSB and the FAA say they will investigate, and the local sheriff told me that he spotted storm clouds just before that crash. He says that weather will certainly be a factor that they investigate. David.
All right, Matt, our thanks to you as well.
All right. Pretty scary, right? I'll show you something really scary. I got murder hornets video that'll freak you the fuck out. No, it's just stupid. It's just a stupid media with their stupid murder hornet shit. We actually caught one. It's not just a lie. We caught one. No, it's real. Murder hornets are real, and they're coming for you. Hello, caller.
Hey, Michael, it's Daniel.
Hey,
Sorry,
Daniel.
I'm a cunt.
Hey, you know what? I was going to tell you something. I was telling you that the Gogo Bordello was a Czechoslovakian punk. It's not Czechoslovakian. It's gypsy punk. That's what they call it, gypsy punk.
Well, thank you for, I don't even know what that means because I'm not big on labels and I'm pretty stupid. But as I was watching all these Gogo, but they're so cool, Michael. Thank you. I found like 20 bands in the last 2 weeks that I never heard of before, and a lot of them are pretty cool. Right on. But yeah, a lot of people were like bitching in the comments of some of their vids about like whether or not they're gypsy or not. And like I don't know, sometimes those like dickhole arguments get a little bit tiring, and like I don't know the labels and stuff, so I don't even know. People talk about what a Jew is these days. God, I don't even know what the definition of a Jew is. It's like the craziest thing, like. So people could pretty much call themselves whatever they want. But so some people call them gypsy. Some people say you're a cunt if you call them a gypsy. But it's cool to hear your perspective because I'm not hating on anybody's perspective. It's just interesting that everybody's got their perspective. So
that's just what I was told that what they were labeled.
Yeah, no, a lot of people call them that, but then other people get offended when they do, and so it's really weird. Just like Jews and stuff, it's just weird, just like labels and stuff, So. I hope everybody on your show is going to put on their list of things to do to listen to Gogo Bordello, because I'll tell you what, my life has only been blessed by listening to it, so thank you. So.
Start wearing purple.
I don't know if I know that one. Which one is that? I don't know.
Start wearing purple.
I haven't heard it. I've only heard like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or something. They probably have like 50 or 60 or 70 or 100, so, anyway. So what? I was about to go to bed, and I, hadn't died yet, and so I thought I'd tune in and see what you were up to, and you were saying all sorts of cool stuff about how we give way too much money to stupid fucking shit like the CIA to do stupid fucking shit like they do, and well, I think that's probably one of the many reasons I started listening to you so many years ago is because you said the common sense things of why do we do so much fucking stupid shit? And so when I tuned into you right before I was just go to bed, that's pretty much exactly what you were saying. I heard you like 14, 15 years ago saying the same stuff, the same.
Yeah.
Why do we do this stupid shit? So
I'm very consistent.
Well, what do you think the answer is, Mox? I mean, you heard defund it all. I agree.
The answer is to never vote for a Republican or a Democrat ever again. That's the only hope, is that we get rid of them. If we can get rid of them, then we can take our government back. That's the only real hope. Otherwise, the shit's never going to end.
It sounds like a start to a good process for sure. I agree. I mean, but yeah, I love you, bro. But I want to keep you honest, because you do such a good job of keeping other people honest. I don't want to like challenge people, but I just want to. I texted my mother-in-law the other day. We were on the phone. We were talking about stuff, Jesus and God and stuff or something. We don't talk very often, but she said something. I said, hey, man, yeah, Jesus, yeah. And then I texted her like 3 hours later, and I said, actually, Jesus never said that. He never said anything close to that. But I understand the spirit of what you're saying. I agree with the spirit of what you're saying. I just don't want to say amen to something that it was never written, that nobody ever said. And so, you say no R's and no D's, but I've also seen you in the last 12 years basically advocate for some R's and some D's, because you advocated for Ron Paul, and he was an R. Yeah. You advocated for Tulsi Gabbard, she was a D. So I'm not hating on you, because I was with you through the whole ride. And basically, I was trying to, I think, advocate on your side, or the side of basic common sense or something. And, I agree with Ron Paul, and I agree with Tulsi Gabbard on most everything, too. I don't know if I would have voted for her, but, she's better than most anybody else I saw, for sure. And so, so when you say no R's and D's, it's kind of like a label thing, but I agree with you. I don't know why anybody would vote unless it was for somebody they believed in. And I personally think people should stop fucking voting unless they believe in the person they're voting for. And all this shit about voting for like the lesser of two somethings. Yeah. Well, if you don't believe the person is going to make it even a really strong direction of the world that you believe in, why the fuck would you even waste your time to even like walk out your door to even say amen to that?
I hear you. I don't think people should vote for people that they don't think are going to do a good job representing them,
Amen.
But I look, and the thing with Tulsi Gabbard and Ron Paul, again, that was an R and a D. Again, I wasn't picking one side or the other. The thing is, though, we're at this point now where I'm saying no, that this seems to be the only solution. That was, 6 months ago.
Amen.
And we're it's just not going to work anymore, as far as I can tell. So, I mean, it was worth, Ron Paul, he was constantly anti-war. He was constantly calling out the Pentagon. He said shit about 9/11 that nobody else would have ever even dreamed of saying, and so many other things. And Tulsi Gabbard was pretty much the same way. She said the Pentagon is paying the Taliban. The Pentagon is paying the evil people in the Syria. She went to Syria. So there was this little bit of hope left in me, but it's gone. It's gone. I don't have that hope anymore. No more R's and no more D's.
Amen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to shout out an amen to what you said. She went to Syria when everybody said she was a fucking stupid cunt traitor for doing it. Yeah. And I basically laughed at everybody for saying that, because she was the only person with balls. She didn't have any balls, but apparently she had enough balls to do what somebody should have done before, which was like to go over to talk to the people and see what the fuck was going on. And so she was brave and courageous when nobody else was, and everybody wanted to call her a cunt. But the truth is, they were a fucking cunt. They didn't do it first.
They didn't do their job.
I'm sorry?
They didn't do their job. That's her job, is to find what's going on. In fact, she said the reason she has to go to Syria was because the Pentagon lied to us about going to war in Iraq, and now they could be lying about this, and I need to know what's happening.
And I say 100% amen the whole way, and I said it for Ron Paul for the same reason. It's not about R's and D's, it's about the person and the truth and the principle. And anyway, yeah, she went to Syria, and we saw the whole fucking establishment call her a cunt for doing it.
Yeah.
But she was the only person who, I mean, not the only person, but one of the very almost few who. It sucks. It is what it is. But yeah, so I agree with you. So last election, I think I told you this maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago, the first time I called. I don't know I can't remember sometimes everything I say. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but sometimes I forget some of the things I say. But last election, I was like scrambling right up to the end because I wanted to vote for somebody who would do something. And I couldn't find anybody. And like a day or two or three or four, a week before the election, I found this guy, Daryl Castle, who was like the Constitution Party candidate. And I watched a couple hours of his videos, and I never heard a single word he said I disagreed with. And so I ended up, voting for Daryl Castle, the Constitution Party candidate. And I ended up doing, I think, a YouTube video and recommending other people do the same. But, I'm not an influencer, as it were. But Daryl Castle obviously was never going to win. And but I cast my vote for somebody who I thought would be better than anybody else that I saw. But you could have voted for anybody but the D or the R. And I agree. I would say don't vote for a D or an R unless you really, 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 really believe in them. And it seems like, I don't know, it seems common sense, but I don't know. So yeah.
I just don't think that voting for either one of those. I mean, you're going to get this. It's like the 2012 election when Ron Paul won. The reason that he didn't, he won the Iowa primary, and the reason he didn't get that victory was because the Republicans covered it up. Just like in 2016.
That's nice.
Hillary,
Mike, that's too nice. You're too nice. They did more than covered it up. They fucked him in some orifice he never wanted to be. I'm sorry to swear on your show. I keep trying not to swear, just so you know. I say heavens to Betsy a lot now because I try not to swear. But they basically stuck something in some orifice he didn't want stuck, is what they did. So covered up is a very euphemistic way of saying what happened. But go on. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, he won that election, and then they said that he didn't win that election. And again, it's the whole Republican Party working to lie about it. Okay, and and we got the same thing from the Democrats in 2016 with Bernie Sanders and their bullshit super delegates. So, and that's why I say we can't vote, even if you do love it, even if you do love Ron Paul. If he's got an R next to his name, it will do no good to vote for him because he is the best candidate. But the Republicans will never allow the best candidate to win. They always have to have the status quo candidate. Just like the Democrats always have to have the status quo candidate. That's why we have Joe Biden now.
Amen. Can I say something I've never heard you say, but I think you agree with anybody probably. So like when I watched the last election, there was 20 plus candidates in the Republican field. They were, dividing debates. And the last Democratic thing, there was a shit show we saw 4, 5, 6, 7 months ago where it all just kind of fell out of Sanders. And I don't even know how the end fucking happened to Biden. It was one of those whatever. But basically when the candidates in the Republican convention speak, or not the convention, and the primaries, when they're like doing their debates and shit, like I don't think they're actually, maybe this is just common sense, but I never heard somebody say it really so much. They're not actually running for the president. It's really just a fucking shit show. I hate to fucking pull the wool out from people's eyes or something. Some people who have eyes to see know this, like, I don't know how many years ago, but a lot of years, maybe. So basically, it's just fucking indoctrination is all it is. So when you have those 20 people there, like most of those people don't even want to be president. They'd be it if you gave it to them, but they don't believe they'll ever be it. But really, it's about reinforcing talking points of the party. It's just because I heard when Ron Paul ran, everybody was supporting like the military-industrial complex, and Ron was like literally when they fucked him. I'm sorry for swearing. When they orificed him with the wrong instrument in the wrong hole when he never gave permission. I don't know. I think sometimes Christians and Mormons like that language better, or just people like it better. Like euphemistic language. He was the only one who was anti-military industrial complex. And so the point is a lot of those people aren't even trying to be president. They're just kind of parading around the country for 6 months and having a party, but they're reinforcing the ideal of a certain side. It's basically programming. It's basically because if you hear everybody disagree with a couple, 3 or 4 or 5 points, but they all agree on 5 or 10 points, then the whole point of the whole exercise is not about what they're disagreeing on. It's to reinforce what they do agree on. And I know that you understand that, and I'm assuming a lot of your listeners do, but I know that if anybody understands that, they also understand that most of the country who at least talks openly and honestly doesn't understand that. So anyway, for what that's worth. So.
Okay, Daniel. Yeah, okay. Well, it's good to hear from you, man. I gotta play a video.
Okay. Hey, brother. Hey, hope you're well, man. Sounds like you are. Love you, bro.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for calling. Okay, so I have breastfeeding video. Do you know that breastfeeding is good for you? And pigs live here. Pig lives here video. Pig lives here. That is actually a very important video that you need to see. And marijuana cures marijuana addiction. Have that. Murder hornets. I think what we will do here is we're going to go ahead and play Pig Lives Here video. Because, again, this is about the chief of police in Seattle. The chief of police in Seattle is a horrible human being who has done everything she can to use every tool to brutalize the protesters in Seattle every bit she can. Okay, that guy is strapped, and in this other guy's face, we're going to watch this for a minute because, we don't. And then there's a guy holding a fucking assault rifle right next to him. The fuck is this shit? We'll keep an eye on this for a minute here. I don't know why Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter can't coexist. It doesn't make sense. It's like Black Lives Matter people can admit Blue Lives Matter, and Blue Lives people could admit Black Lives Matter, then we could move forward together. And we could take this fucked up government back from the damn police state that it's created. But, again, this looks a little bit agitated, heated. We want to keep an eye so that people don't start shooting people or whatever. Okay, yeah, you just get your little fucking assault rifle to the back of the line, man. Yeah, look at all the Blue Lives people are strapped. That's hilarious. Because they're so threatened. It's so scary. And we got a little walkabout going on in Seattle, Washington. And I have a video about walkabout in Seattle, Washington. And just a minute, I'll play it for you. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox, how you doing? It's David from New York.
I'm good. How about you, David?
I love it. The weather is wonderful. I love that the whole world has been shut down so that we can talk about very particular issues. We have now narrowed it down to intent and action and result. And we can see very clearly that the United States is not handling this virus not only are they not handling it in a responsible manner, they're actually prohibiting the mitigation of it. So that's an important point to understand, situational awareness. In your situational awareness, you always have to be aware of the people around you making decisions. Are the people around you making good decisions? No, they're not. No, they're not. And if they can't make good decisions in your situational awareness, then you have to grade them as a failure. You can't grade them as, well, they're doing the best they can. No, that is not how we do it. The self-perpetuating system, and I understand this because I've been in the jail cells. I've been on the road arrested for nothing, and I've been in the courtrooms, and I've defended myself in a fair number of cases. Either way, I'm just saying I have situational awareness, and I'm telling you that this whole system of law breaking, punishment, is based in a complete philosophy that doesn't have anything to do with what we should be doing. It's actually absurd. And that's why most people, if they study life and situational awareness and answer the three questions, you got to answer three questions. Who are you? Where are you? And what are you doing? If you can answer those three questions, then you're a person that has ultimate situational awareness, and you are now making decisions as a human being with a full bed of knowledge. But if you can't answer those three basic questions, you're just a goddamn zombie. And I think that's what started the 90s zombie movement in the art. The art started showing art tells the future, and all of a sudden we saw zombies in all the art. Holy shit, they made zombie movies, zombie series, zombie paintings, zombies. Everything was zombie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, right? I mean, I'm not making this up. It was, everything suddenly turned to zombies.
Yeah, no, I get. Well, they do that to dehumanize humans. That way, when you see somebody killing a zombie, your brain identifies it as a human, but you somehow are tricked into thinking that it's an enemy and it has to be disposed of and blah blah blah, and it justifies this killing of humans in this very violent manner over and over again. It's some seriously disgusting propaganda.
It is disgusting, and you're right. And I think that what I've been watching of your show, and I've been a subscriber for quite a long time. So we all go through stages of progression, right? I have a YouTube channel too, and it's just like, I'm just like, oh my God, from what I thought I was doing in the beginning is not what I ended up doing. Absolutely not. So, but it's the process of humans finding out their situational awareness and working around in that. This is incredible what's happening right now. Portland stopped the entire military from, if you notice, I don't know if anybody noticed, and I'll just drop this right now. General Milley made a special trip to Israel. That's the JCOS, right? That's the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's the chairman of it. He's not a deal maker. He doesn't work for the State Department. He went to Israel, and he made a very poignant visit right after he had given the commencement address at the National Defense University, after he had put out the statement after Lafayette Square, what happened in Lafayette Square, where the military came in. And it was like, oh, shit, right? And after that, every military person was withdrawn from the street. And then Trump says, oh, they took all the military away from me. And then he put in the CBP that he could. He put in the Border Patrol and the PROTAC guys that were, or I call them BroTAC, These are the guys who have to hide. They can't have their identities known. So if you're going to hire these guys to go out in the street and they're going to say, okay, I'm going to do it, but I ain't wearing a name tag. And so they said, okay, do it anyway. I don't care if you wear a name tag. And so they didn't wear a name tag. And then afterwards it's like, oh, they weren't wearing a name tag. Oh, excuse me, that matters. Excuse me, that matters. If you come onto the street of an American city, we own the streets, and you arrest somebody and you don't have a name tag and you don't have a badge number and you don't present yourself to people and tell them who they fucking are, after numerous demands from all the camera people, that's what really did it. The numerous demands of all the camera people around that arrest was brilliant. And they did it. They said, identify yourself. And if you don't identify yourself, you cannot just grab somebody off the street. Imagine where that goes. So we don't go there. That is not what we're going to do. That cannot happen here, because otherwise people start getting grabbed.
Well, again, like I was saying, the movie V for Vendetta is currently available on Netflix. I've been talking about it for months because it fits the current situation very, very well.
It is.
And they do what they call, in that movie, they do what they call black bagging. And it's incredibly terrifying. And it's exactly where this government is at. And it's what this discussion is all about.
Yes. And that's exactly right. So defund the whole damn government. I can speak from a position of working in the supply of the Air Force. So I had access to people that worked in supply. There's many different departments in supply, but in supply I worked in fuels and petroleums and lubricants. I almost said lubricants, but it's lubricants. Yeah, and that's the unit I worked in, and we handled buying, all the gas for the planes, all the fuel, all the oxygen, liquid oxygen, all this kind of stuff. But you have access to other parts of supply where they're funding like incredibly crazy things for absurd amounts of money, and everybody's in shock.
Yeah.
They're in shock. I'm speaking as an Air Force, a person who was ex-Air Force. Like when I finally found out how much people were paying for what they were like buying, it was a shock. A literal shock.
Yeah, and we've all seen the stories about, $1,500 crescent wrenches and fucking, I just saw a story recently about $1,500 fucking coffee makers, man.
Dude. There's two ways to get rich in this country right now. One of them is become a preacher of a new religion and prey upon the dumbest people, and that will make you rich. The second way is to go into military contracting. If you want to go into military contracting, you can get very rich in this country right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. And get ready for the competition.
Yeah.
Because there's already pigs at the trough.
Yeah.
Who might not appreciate your presence.
And they're dangerous. Hey, David, I got to take a break, man.
All right, I got to go.
It's good to hear from you. Thanks for calling. All right, so bye. I have a video about pigs live here. You want to watch this one? It's important.
Puyallup Police are sharing this photo on social media showing the words "Pig lives here" written in chalk on the street outside a police officer's home. Puyallup's police chief posted a response on Facebook saying the officer whose home was targeted previously served in the Army and saw law enforcement as a way to continue serving. Chief Scott Engel went on to say in his post that police officers cannot do their job without support from the public.
Meantime, Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best is sounding off her concerns to the city council after protesters targeted her home over the weekend.
Yeah, she wrote a letter to the council asking them to, quote, stand up for what's right and forcefully call for the end of these tactics. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says a couple hundred protesters showed up to the neighborhood. Neighbors we spoke with say they didn't feel safe. The sheriff calls the protest a bullying tactic.
They were asking them what schools they went to. They were yelling the most horrible things you've ever heard in your entire life.
So when the group of people showed up to my house, it certainly felt very personal about me. I'm not a person who can vote or has a specific say in the outcome of the budget issues. So being there really is not going to make a difference in the outcome.
In Snohomish County, the sheriff says they've stepped up patrols around Chief Best's neighborhood.
The debate over whether to defund Seattle police has some officers debating whether to leave. And if it were up to their families, some officers would already be gone. This week on The Divide, Brandy Cruz sat down with the wives of 3 SPD officers for an emotional conversation about the state of policing in Seattle.
I'm not one to have anxiety, and I have a lot. For me, it's hard to see somebody that you care about so much and is such a good person, and all he wants to do is help and serve and be good to people and treat people with respect of all people. And to know that somebody, just because he wears a uniform, wants to kill him is heartbreaking. It's really difficult. And the idea of a chaplain coming to my house, it's really bad.
All right, so I'm gonna heat this thing up and have a little puffy puff, little puffy puff, McPuff, McPuff puff. Okay, so last week we started trying to reach a goal of $10 in donations or contributions from good people like you per live show. And it's just a goal. It seems like a reasonable goal. So and I wouldn't ask if it wouldn't make like a huge difference, but right now I'm not doing that. Last week we have 4 out of 5 nights. Actually on Friday we got $9.99 in donations, $9.99. So I'm gonna call that $10. And we'll do that. So we'll count that as 4 nights, 4 out of 5. So this week, I just want to remind you guys, in case you're interested, we are trying to reach $10 in donations per live show. I know it's a lot to ask. I know it is. But we're going to try and reach that goal. Hopefully this week we'll make it. So far, nobody's given anything this week, but hopefully they will soon. If you'd like to, again, there's clickable links in the text body of this video, in the description box of this video, or in the chat box in this video, or you can go to moxnews.com. It's very simple to give something back. It should take less than 2 minutes for you to put a little bit of pizza money in my bowl, and that would be very, very nice of you. Because Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like you. And that's the truth. That's the facts, Jack. Okay, you ready? You ready? You ready? I'm about ready here. Here we go. Oh, I feel much better now. Whoops, not that one. That one. Oh, we can go back to the drone video. Seems like going back to the drone video makes more sense. But we do have a nice walkabout going on in Seattle, in case anybody's interested. And that's what that last video was about. Was protesters marching to Seattle Police Chief Best. Her name is Best. who grew up in Seattle and has spent most of her life in Seattle and will not be retiring in Seattle because the protesters know where you live best. And it's the most ironic name of all time. So Chief Best is pushing the city council to somehow make it illegal for protesters to march down a public street if a city official happens to live on it. I'm really tired of this Chief Best. She hates freedom. She hates freedom, just like Dumb hates freedom. These people are they hate it. She begged for the ability to use tear gas and rubber bullets and flashbang grenades and pepper spray on people, chemical weapons on peaceful protesters after a judge took those things away from the Seattle police because they were caught using it on peaceful protesters unprovoked. That's according to the judge. They're using weapons, chemical weapons on peaceful protesters unprovoked, which means the protester didn't do nothing. The cops just got tired of standing around waiting for them to do something, so they went ahead and did it anyways. And she begged for the ability to get those back so she could brutalize the protesters. Not because the protesters are being a problem, but because we need to be able to brutalize the people who sign our paychecks. That's, I'm sure, what she was thinking. Because she's a horrible, horrible human being like that. And you need to move, Chief Best. Move far the fuck away if you don't want people marching in front of your house for years to come. Because you know what's going to happen is another judge is going to rule that you can't block people from marching down a public street. You stupid cow. Not in fucking America. You don't like America? Move to fucking China. Go be a police officer there. We don't need your kind here. Best. Ha. All right. Let's see. Again. Defund. We could do breastfeeding. You want to do breastfeeding? No, we'll skip. Here, I have a better video. Cops terrorizing a black family because their car met the description. It didn't even meet the description. They're looking for a stolen motorcycle, and they pull over a van filled with a black family. Children. They handcuff them and put them face down on hot asphalt.
And next this evening, the new allegations against the Aurora, Colorado Police Department. Officers now accused of confronting a black family, mistakenly believing they were in a stolen vehicle, children forced to the ground. That stolen vehicle was actually a motorcycle in another state. Here's Clayton Sandell.
Tonight, confusions and questions about why police in Aurora, Colorado, responding to reports of a stolen vehicle, approached a black family in their car, handcuffing several children on the pavement. Police say a license plate scanner alerted them that Brittany Gilliam's car was stolen. She tells KUSA-TV she was with her sister, 6-year-old daughter, and teenage nieces when officers rolled up.
That's police brutality. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That's police brutality.
But the department now says Gilliam's license plate had the same number as the real stolen vehicle, but that was a motorcycle from another state.
The mistake is that the officer was going off of what dispatch told them that was confirmed. So he was acting in good faith that was confirmed.
The department is already under fire for several high-profile cases. 3 officers were fired and 1 quit last month after posing for pictures making fun of the chokehold used on Elijah McClain. The 23-year-old massage therapist died after this encounter with police last summer.
The city of Aurora is naming a permanent police chief tonight that some community leaders and critics say will inherit a department in desperate need of fixing. David?
All right, Clayton, thank you.
Man, you see that selfie those cops took after murdering that kid? Wish they did. They murdered that kid. See that selfie they took where they're all fucking smiling? They all have like just beaming smiles on their faces. I mean, how sick a fucking piece of shit do you have to be to murder some innocent kid and then have these big fucking smiles on your faces. Something seriously, seriously wrong. Something seriously, seriously wrong with policing in this country. And if you can't see it, there's probably something seriously wrong with you too. So, you know, heads up. Alright, so, let's see. I have more videos. I'm going to play more videos unless I get a caller. The number is 805-669-6397. That is 805-669-6397. I'm playing more videos. I told you I would. They're coming your way. Here we go. What do you want? You want murder hornets? You want defund the Seattle police? You want Maxwell Judge? Ghislaine Maxwell's Judge? She made a video about her family being murdered. And how horrible it is for judges and how they need protection desperately. I don't know what the fuck she wants. What do you want? Secret Service around your fucking home 24/7? You want private fucking security? You know, how about we change the fucking stupid fucking laws and you don't have to fucking, you know, end people's lives, and then maybe you won't be so hated. What's up, Manny?
Hey, just saying hi though.
You still in Eastern Washington?
Yeah, I'm in Eastern Washington.
Pretty hot over there?
It was like 100 degrees.
That's pretty hot, man.
It's pretty hot, man. Yeah. The good thing is like we have the Yakima and the Columbia River nearby. So you want to hang around or just go and just walk along the side of the river? That's a cool weather.
Cool, that does sound nice.
Yeah, so, hey, so how's things with you? How's the news?
I'm good. I had a great
on the stream?
We had a great weekend. We went to the mountains, took the dogs to the lake. It was beautiful.
Well, I guess all the craziness in Seattle already stopped. I think it's in Portland now, and whatever.
This is Seattle. This is Seattle on the screen, Manny. There's 1,000 people marching down the street in Seattle, going to somebody's neighborhood. I don't know where this is.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. They actually went. It wasn't Sonoma County. The actual Black Lives Matter went into the actual freaking what's it called? The chief of Sonoma County. They went into the actual houses and started asking like, why is that person? I think it was fake or something like that. And they were trying to harass the people in the neighborhood to tell them where they are and like what are their license plate. And if they don't support Black Lives Matter, they're gonna go and call them work and fire them. No, those kids are racist now. You know the funny thing about this Black Lives Matter movement is that a bunch of white people. I actually, because apparently quote unquote they're privileged, end quote. So they're actually harassing people into support Black Lives Matter because racism is their problem and they have to fix it. So these white people who have guilty feelings, they start acting in the name of black people to support Black Lives Matter, and in some cases, they even overshadow black people when it comes to Black Lives Matter. So basically, white people have been taking over the Black Lives Matter movement for some weird reason, which it's kind of weird and fascinating at the same time because you realize that these people are actually behaving like white supremacists while at the same time fighting against white supremacists.
I don't see it that way, but, you know, lots of people like to throw around the white supremacist label.
That's the other thing, though, that they have lost its meaning. White supremacy is supposed to be a bunch of white people believe that they're supreme. And now it's just anything that you disagree with, it's white supremacy. Even Western civilization itself is white supremacist.
I don't know, Manny.
Dude, just follow these woke leftists and you realize how crazy. Even the classical hippie liberals think these people are like legit crazy, though.
Look, you know, look, these people are fighting against injustice, okay? And part of the injustice is the Black Lives thing. But it's not just about that, Manny.
Speaking of Black Lives Matter, did you saw the video of the police cam of George Floyd?
Yeah.
Not the actual cell phone video. I'm talking about the actual police cam.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that George Floyd shouldn't be dead.
You know what? I was watching the video though. Whether or not you agree or disagree that he committed a crime by paying $20 the fake deal,
which could have happened to any
I
of
kind
us.
of feel like he actually sensed that he was going to die because he was clearly begging the police that they don't arrest him, and he was claustrophobic and don't put it in the back of the police vehicle. I don't know if you saw that though. He was actually begging, almost crying to make sure that they don't get arrested. He doesn't get arrested for some reason. Because he doesn't want to get shot or he doesn't want to die. Minutes before he actually died. And minutes before he actually was put on the knee on the neck type of position.
Uh-huh.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know it's kind of creepy though, because I feel like this guy was sensing he's so dead for some reason. He kind of predicted he's so dead. It's kind of creepy though. It actually gives me a little bit of goosebumps when I saw the video. Now, whether or not what the police did was justified or not, that's another issue though. But just to see just the way how I see the guy being afraid that something is going to happen to him even before that happened to him.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when black people deal with the police. They wind up dead.
Now, though, he feels like he's being harassed all the time. And even though for police that's just a normal confrontation or like a normal procedure, black people see that as harassment. Like they're going to get it, then they're going to get it. They're going to get them shot, though. Because of the fact that they're being black, though. Even though the policeman said he's black, he's probably a criminal for some reason. I don't know, dude. It kind of like the whole narrative is starting to make some sort of sense to me after I saw the video.
Yeah, look, I've talked about this, man. I've talked about a little boy playing 10-year-old boy playing or 8-year-old boy playing basketball in his driveway, and he sees the police coming and he hides because he's terrified they're going to come and get him. They're coming for his family. I've shown like 4-year-old girl crying at a rally because they see the police and they're afraid that the police is coming to arrest her family. You know, I mean, it's disgusting, dude. A 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old. It's disgusting. They should think that cops are the heroes, and they don't have that option.
Yeah. I recommend your viewers to see the body cam police video of George Floyd. I think it's on the Daily Mail website or a Daily something. It's a British website.
It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere tomorrow. You'll see it. Don't worry.
Yeah, but right now it's on a British newspaper website.
Yeah.
I saw it, and then like literally when the whole thing starts, the guy starts yelling, "Are you arrested? Are you arrested? Am I arrested? Please don't take me. My man just died last month. I'm claustrophobic. Don't shoot me. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die." Like he kind of knew though, like minutes before they even put the knee on his neck, that he was gonna die, and that is the creepiest thing of the whole video. Like this guy knew. This guy knew that this is it. And it happened like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Watch the video. I recommend the viewers to watch the video. It's kind of creepy, dude.
Yeah, like I said, everybody's gonna see it. It's gonna be everywhere tomorrow. Trust me.
Yeah. Anyways, just want to say hi, Box.
All right, Manny. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing okay over there in Eastern Washington.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. See you. Talk to you soon. And that's Manny. Okay, so, and let me see. Breastfeeding. You need to know about breastfeeding. I'm going to play the video about breastfeeding now. Because everybody needs to know about breastfeeding.
The First week of August is World Breastfeeding Week. It is well known that breastfeeding has many health advantages for infants, and new research shows some of the benefits for mom, too. The study looked at data on more than 200,000 people. Researchers note that when women breastfeed, the hormone oxytocin is released. That's associated with reduced stress and decreased blood pressure, which could explain why women who breastfed had a lower risk of hypertension. Experts who've reviewed the study say moms who breastfed infants through their first birthday saw the most benefit.
They found that for women who breastfed their infant for more than 12 months, the risk for diabetes later in life was cut by 30%. Risk for hypertension was cut by 13%.
For brand new moms, Dr. Goebel admits the idea of breastfeeding for an entire year can seem overwhelming. But she says it gets easier after the first couple of weeks, and seeking support, whether through a lactation consultant or other moms, is key.
All right, so we have a lovely walkabout going on in Seattle again. Portland is very, very quiet, which again is all they had to do was get rid of the invaders, the Gestapo invaders saying, you can't do this. And Portland's like, yeah, you know, but they're ready. They're ready to come back out. We need to be out here every night. We'll be out here every night. What's up, caller?
Michael, his name is Michael, his name is Michael, yes, his name is Michael. His name is Michael, yes, skibba-dabba-doo-dabba-doo-ba-dabba-boo. You know who it is, it's your boy.
What's up, Pete?
That's right, you fucking cunts in the fucking chat. You know who the fuck it is. It's your worst fucking nightmare calling in, bitch. It's your boy.
How's it going, bro?
What's going on, man?
Well, I am doing this thing that I do. We had a great weekend. How'd your weekend go?
My weekend was fantastic.
Nice.
You know, I got a little too hungover on, a little too drunk on Friday. The hangover almost ruined my weekend, but it was okay. I pulled it together.
You sounded like you were pounding them pretty good on Friday. You actually,
oh, bro.
You actually broke a glass on the show.
Yes. Well, I did not remember that at the time. I woke up and there was broken glass on my floor.
Oh shit.
And weird dark purple stains all over the place.
Broken glass and
idea.
hangover do not make a good combination.
No, it's not the first time that's happened. But then I listened back to the show and then I pieced together the puzzle. So yeah. So Michael, defunding the police. Defunding the police not enough?
Not enough. We need to defund the whole motherfucking great Satan, man.
I say you defund the government and you fund the police. The police need the funding.
I'm down with that.
The government does not need the funding. I say we take the funding away from the fucking bankers and the fucking politicians and all the cunts that are getting subsidies and tax breaks and all that bullshit.
Tell them,
we take all that fucking money and we put it towards the police officers that have been getting, that are just regular fucking dudes that have been getting bent over and fucked, and they just keep getting their funding pulled more and more every fucking year so that the bankers and all the other fucking corporate cuts can get their fucking cut. And that's what's been going on. So I say we put more funding to the police, Michael, because they need better training and better accommodations. That's what I think. I don't think we need to go full anarchy and defund the police. But
we need to end the drug war and end the police state, dude. We got to stop all this private prisons bullshit. You know, we have to stop.
Oh, private prisons absolutely need to stop, which is exactly why Joe Biden is going to elect Kamala Harris as his presidential running mate, because she loves the for-profit prison industry, Michael. As our good friend Tulsi Gabbard pointed out, when she was what was it? I don't know. She was something.
Prosecutor. She was a district attorney. She was I think she was attorney general.
She was essential in the prison profit industry growing exponentially. So she was definitely a big part of that. Let's make no mistake about it. You can do your research on that, people.
Yeah.
Pretty proven. She's not a good person.
So yeah, how many other women of color does Biden have to choose from? Because he's pretty much been told he has to choose a woman of color to be his running mate. So you know, isn't that sad? Isn't that a sad state of affairs, Michael? When it's pretty much like if you don't choose a person of color or a woman to be your running mate, then you're a fucking scumbag. It doesn't care about diversity.
Well, if you don't,
it doesn't really matter who's most qualified for the job.
If you don't vote for if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you're not black. I know that.
Well, that's right. Yeah, of course.
So,
because Joe Biden knows so much about black people. He knows about fucking creepy shoulder touches and fucking hair plugs.
Yeah.
But one thing he does not know about is black people.
I bet you know some pretty good black people jokes.
I'm sure he does. Michael,
so
you know what else I wanted to say?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Is I have just had just about enough of all the worthless, meaningless, just jizzbag. There's no better word to describe it than the jizzbag, worthless pieces of shit in the fucking chat. And I'm talking about you, Dr. Whisper. You fucking worthless little burger flipping fucking jizz mop. I'm talking about you, you fucking nothing. And all you little fucks just like him, who when there's a fucking caller calling in who's actually got some interesting shit to say, you gotta fucking chime in with your fucking talking shit, with your little bullshit, when you little fucking jizz mop, have never fucking contributed a single fucking thing to this show. All you ever fucking do is chime in with your fucking little meaningless nonsense and your little fucking shit talking, and you just add nothing. And I'm just sick of all these little fucking assholes who, dude, I donated to you last week, and this little fucking cunt, what was his name? Freedom Fighter? This dumb little fucking jizz mop in the fucking chat who was talking shit about me donating to you said, "You're wasting your fucking money, Pete." This little fucking jizzbag, who I know for a fact listens to your fucking show every single fucking broadcast, this little fucking cunt is in the fucking chat, and he's eating it up. And he loves your show, and he's talking shit about me donating. Look at him. He's loving it. He's in the chat loving it. Yeah. You're a fucking little jizz mop. You and fucking Whisper, you fucking worthless little fucking faggots. I hope you fucking burn in hell. I really do. I really do. Yeah. I hate you. I hate you to death. I hope you die. I hope the fucking police fucking beat you to death. With fucking tasers.
It's so strange that they want to talk shit about me the whole time, and yet they're here every fucking day.
They're here every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And they give nothing back.
Yeah.
Dr. Whisper doesn't even have a bank account. He doesn't even have a bank account. I'm pretty sure he's in his 20s.
No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's older.
Pretty remarkable. He must be living with his parents. I can't imagine he's not. I mean,
I don't know. I don't think he lives with his parents, but I know that he cares about his mama a whole lot.
I know one thing he cares a lot about, taking loads in the fucking tongue. That's what he cares about. Fucking big fat queef boy.
Well, what'd you get a chance to do this weekend besides eat lovely gummies?
I hope all you fucking cunts burn in fucking hell. I hope the fucking feds shove a fucking nightstick right up your fucking worthless fucking asses. You fucking contribute nothing fucking jizz mops. Burn in fucking hell, and long live Mox News.
Thank you.
Fuck all you cunts. I'm going to go fucking smoke a cigar, and then I'm going to bed, Michael. I love you.
Thanks for calling.
I love you. Even though all these fucking worthless cunts in the chat don't. You fucking give nothing fucking cunts. Burn in hell. Praise Allah, Michael. I love this.
Bye, Pete. And that's our buddy Drunk Pete from Rhode Island. It's always good to hear from Pete. It's always good to hear someone call out fucking retards who need calling out because they don't appreciate what they got. What I got. Okay, so the judge in the Ghislaine Maxwell case is calling for judges across America to get security. So I thought you might want to see that. It's like, oh, we're so victimized. Everybody's so victimized. You have no idea how hard it is. Of course, she's having a kind of a hard time.
Then we're going to turn to that powerful video from a federal judge tonight. She was the judge whose son was shot and killed when he answered the door at their home. Her husband was shot too. He survived. Tonight here, the judge's plea, and here's Tom Yamas.
A madman who I believe was targeting me because of my position as a federal judge came to my house.
Tonight, the federal judge who lost her son in an ambush attack is demanding change.
We are living every parent's worst nightmare, making preparations to bury our only child, Daniel.
Judge Salas said the family was cleaning up after hosting a birthday celebration for 20-year-old Daniel.
And Daniel said, "Mom, let's keep talking. I love talking to you, Mom." And it was at that exact moment that the doorbell rang. And before I could say a word, he sprinted upstairs. Within seconds, I heard the sound of bullets and someone screaming, "No!"
Police say the alleged gunman, self-described anti-feminist attorney Roy Denhollander, killed himself the next day.
In my case, the monster knew where I lived and what church we attended and had a complete dossier on me and my family. At the moment, there is nothing we can do to stop it, and that is unacceptable.
David, the threats against judges are real. The U.S. Marshals say they are increasing every year, and Judge Salas's family is proof sometimes these threats become a reality. David?
All right, Tom Yamas with us tonight. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, so there are many people in the street here in Portland. I'm not sure what they are surrounding there, but they're still there. They're in Seattle. They're in Portland. They're in in Utah. What was that city? Utah. They're in Utah. So they're everywhere. It's going to continue, and until we get something better. I hope it just continues on until we get something better, because the leadership that we have, the people, the police state is just out of control, and I don't think it does enough to defund it. Just the local police. I don't think that's enough. I think we have to start taking money away from these congressmen. If we're talking about we got to figure out what's going on with these people and get this under control, because the way the spending is just beyond ridiculous. And I'm no conservative, but what's happening is out of control, and we got to reel it in. So that being said, again, we got I don't know what that structure is that the police are guarding. They are guarding that. Oh, it's got a blue light. Must be some cop shop. They are guarding that pretty seriously. Cops are guarding their little cop shop. So we will keep an eye on that. But I have more videos to play for you. Want to make sure we get through them. Also, we are trying to get, we're trying to get $10 in contributions per show for 5 days in a row for the week, all week long. It would be really awesome if we could do 10. It would be incredibly awesome. You guys have no idea. It would make a huge difference in my world, because it's not happening right now. But if we did, during every live show, we got $10 in contributions, that would be amazing to me. I know it's a lot to ask. I know it's a hugely lofty goal. But if we could do that, that would be fucking awesome. Okay, so I have a video about murder hornets. But first, a word from our sponsor, marijuana.
A new study suggests using CBD could help people who abuse marijuana. Researchers monitored a few dozen people who have cannabis use disorder. That's when marijuana impairs their psychological, physical, or social functioning. Scientists found giving those patients CBD could possibly reduce the patient's pot use. The team says they used medical-grade CBD that was safe, and they saw no serious adverse effects during the study.
And who would have ever guessed that the cure for cannabis abuse is cannabis? I would have never guessed that. You're not eating enough marijuana, in case I haven't mentioned that lately. You're not eating enough marijuana. You guys know this, right? If you don't eat your marijuanas, the murder hornets are going to get you. Oh, look, there's an inflatable piggy. Look, there's an inflatable piggy. All right, so let's see. Gotta be some kind of cop shop with that big blue light. It's what they always surround. I mean, they do the federal building, they did the police union, they did the mayor's condo. You know what's really scary? Murder hornets.
Now we go to the latest on the Asian giant hornets, nicknamed the murder hornets. For the first time, the deadly insect has been trapped in our state. Now it's a race against time to find the nest and wipe out its colony before more hatch. KOMO's Holly Menino is tracking the latest.
This morning, Washington state officials preparing for what could be a massive standoff against international killers with a deadly name, murder hornets.
We do have a response team ready to rope the area off and perform an eradication, which will essentially destroy most of the hornets.
Researchers finally trapping one, a clue a nest could be nearby.
The Asian giant hornet can be really problematic in the United States, specifically because it is an invasive species.
These hornets, native to Asia, were first spotted in Washington state late last year. They can grow to about 2 inches long, about 5 times as big as a honeybee. You can see here the insect that was caught, smaller than a typical giant hornet queen.
What that means to us is that at least one of them went through to produce breeding cast, and there can be 200 to 300 queens kicked out, and some of those will succeed.
Now the clock is ticking to find the nest before mid-September, when those new queens and drones will hatch.
These hornets are expanding out the size of their colonies for one big push at the end of the year. In the fall, if we can actually catch them now at this early point in their development, we can eradicate these organisms so that they do not become established in other states.
Experts are on the hunt, even using infrared cameras to find their nests. When they do, they'll move in. Murder hornets live up to their lethal name, killing up to 50 people in Japan each year. But they pose a much bigger threat to honeybees.
Honeybees are incredibly important to our food security. These organisms can decimate honeybee colonies, and because our bees have already dealt with so much, the murder hornets can be quite a problem.
Holly Menino for KOMO News.
It kills up to 50 people a year. Up to 50 people a year in Japan. So they're coming for you. That's what it's all about. That's why they're here. They're here for you. They say this is the first one that they caught, right? That's what they said in that story. They said this is for the first time we caught a murder hornet. And I'm thinking, You guys have been telling us that you caught him last year, right? So maybe she's saying the first time this year. Maybe she's saying that this is the first time they caught a queen. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but this story is as hokey, is way more hokey than the COVID-19 story. And I'm just so sick of it. But that's from today, and there was multiple other stories on the local, so you'll probably be seeing it on the national tomorrow. Murder hornet caught. One less killer on the loose. There's a little piggy. Alright, so it looks like they're doing a sit-in on Seattle. It looks like they reached the spot they wanted to get to, whether it's the mayor's house or I'm not sure where it is that they're at. Maybe it's Chief's Best House. They tried to go to Chief Best's house yesterday and they were stopped. Maybe that's why there's so many more of them tonight, is because, you know, more people are more difficult to stop, right? We'll see. They have the right to march down a public street, you stupid cow. Fucking Best. Chief Best. Give me a break. More like Chief Worst. Worst ever. You won't be lasting much longer in this town, Chief. So you know. Okay, so I have another video here about defunding the Seattle police. And protesters marching down to Chief Best's house. I will play that for you right now.
The first of 3 hearings on the move to defund the Seattle Police Department is going on right now. The City Council's Select Budget Committee is listening to public comment before discussing and debating dozens of amendments to the 2020 rebalancing package. KOMO's Denise Whitaker is live to show us what's happening now. Denise?
Well, they are taking public comment right now. Most of the demands that have been given so far are calling for a 50% defunding of the remainder of the budget for the rest of this budget year. People are being very specific, and these first few comments already being very adamant that this is what they are demanding and what they need City Council to do, some even criticizing Council. So there are a number of ideas that are being floated around right now, including removing the 911 Center, Harbor Patrol, the Emergency Management Center, and parking enforcement out of police control, plus taking all non-criminal calls from police and giving those to a civilian-run department, which would be created at some point next year. Councilwoman Shama Sawant introduced her plan before any others last week, and she is now calling Friday's meeting absolutely mind-boggling. She says some of the council's amendments would only cut $2.6 million. Her proposal would cut $85 million. Again, right now, council members are listening to what the public has to say, and in some cases, specifically about these differences.
We demand that you defund the SPD by 50% at least and invest that money in black communities. We're demanding an amount greater than or equal to 50% or $85 million minimum, not the $2.6 million in cuts you discussed on Friday. That's 3%, which is less than 50. Does that make sense?
And looking over today's potential amendments, I see that the council is listening and trying to change the system. I'm especially hopeful for Amendment 54, solely led by Councilwoman Sawant, and investing in housing. I would like to know that in laying off SPD staff, it should be a priority to keep the BIPAC staff on the books.
The majority of the speakers are for defunding police, but there are also many standing out in various ways against this idea. Demonstrators defending Seattle police made their voices heard outside City Hall over the weekend, with signs signaling they stand with police and defend SPD. This group called City Council's efforts to cut police budget disastrous. The debate continues. Here's the timeline for the rest of this week, so you know what's happening next. Today's meeting includes public comment and discussions from City Council. There are 2 meetings coming up on Wednesday. Those will have public comment as well at 11 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. The committee may also take a vote on Wednesday. Then the next round of meetings comes next week on Monday. There's another budget committee meeting at 10 a.m. with public comment, then the full council meeting at 2 p.m. again with a possible vote. Besides the money in all of this, one of the other very controversial issues would be layoffs of police officers, because if money is cut from the budget, that would include salaries and layoffs. And so that is the other issue that a lot of people are debating right now, exactly how those officers would be chosen who would have to be laid off. So that's yet another controversial issue. Again, these series of meetings will continue at least for the next week.
Denise, thank you. One of the efforts to stop the move to slash the Seattle Police Department's budget also continues to grow. The Seattle Police Officers Guild tweeted that their petition now has 120,000 signatures on it. The Stop Defunding campaign launched just 1 week ago on July 27th. The union president warns dramatically cutting the budget would result in slower response times. Seattle's police chief is now calling on the city council to take action after she says a large group of aggressive protesters showed up outside her home in Snohomish County. In a letter to the council last night, Chief Best called the protesters' actions targeting politicians and civil servants' homes out of line with and going against every democratic principle that guides our nation. She went on to say, before this dissolves into the new way of doing business by mob rule here in Seattle and across the nation, elected officials like you must forcefully call for the end of these tactics. In recent weeks, protesters have rallied outside the homes of Seattle's mayor, some city council members, and the county executive.
That chief of police is a horrible human being, man. I sure hope that that the protesters on the street there in Seattle, in the bottom right-hand corner, I sure hope that they are outside Chief Best's house right now, because they have every right in the world to walk down a public street. And this fucking horrible human being is trying to say they do not, nor should they. And or if they do, that it should be changed. So fuck her, fuck the police, fuck the chief of police, fuck the city council, fuck the mayor, fuck all this goddamn government needs to go away. We don't need all this garbage. These people are horrible human beings who don't do anything for the people. That chief of police just wants to brutalize the protesters and act as if they have zero rights. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of her. I guarantee you, this person who grew up in Seattle and spent her whole life here will not retire in Seattle, which is a beautiful place to retire, in case you don't know already. Okay, so that's all my videos. I'm out of videos. We look calm in Portland. The cops look calm. They don't have gas masks on or anything. The protests continue. The people own the streets. The cops have figured that out. Chief Best needs to figure that out. You need to work with the people. You don't like mob rules? Well, maybe you should not act like the people need to stand up against you, because this is what's going to happen. Either you act like you are part of the problem and admit it so that we can work our way through the problem. Otherwise, get the fuck out of our way. Stop trying to put up more roadblocks. That doesn't work. It hasn't worked yet. It's not going to work. All right. So we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we will be back tomorrow. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories, 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.